Hi, I'm Beverly Banov Brown, and I have a question for you today. Are you involved possibly with a narcissist, a crazy maker, a drama king, or a drama queen? And maybe you've got rose-colored glasses on, so you're in denial about it, and you're not seeing the signs that are flapping in the breeze right in front of your face. I think it's time to take off the rose-colored glasses. Rose-colored glasses, why do people wear them? Why did that cliche come into the language? Well, like most cliches, the one about rose-colored glasses had a big-time reason for coming in. And that is that sometimes we don't like the reality that we see. Sometimes because somebody, for example, has so many great qualities, like fun and being articulate and charming and witty and maybe very attractive, and maybe they like to go with you to great events, concerts and movies, and for romantic walks on the beach, fancy restaurants, whatever form it takes. You want to believe that they're all that. You want to believe that all the neuroses and in some cases even psychoses don't exist. And so what do? You go into denial. You put on the rose-colored glasses. And even though you see perhaps that person treating the waiter badly, even though the person might be short-tempered with others, even though they may not call you when they say they will, they may disappear for days, weeks, even months. They may be uncommunicative at times. They may go from those times where they are loving and romantic and sweet and bringing you flowers to being Jekyll-Hyde, where they can turn on you and become extraordinarily critical, sarcastic, nasty, cutting. Sometimes they might even embarrass you in front of others, or sometimes they do it privately, where they become super critical of how you might be folding a towel, or or how you're speaking, or whether your grammar is perfect or not. Something you're wearing that they start to be critical about, that you're overdressed or not dressed up enough. And eventually you start to feel, even with good ego strength, that you're being targeted. You're being put down. This, for many people, causes a deterioration in their sense of themselves, in their sense of self-esteem. And yet the rose-colored glasses often stay on. Now, what causes that? And how can you get past it? Well, in the 3 decades plus now that I've worked with individuals, couples, and families as an intuitive and as a life and love coach, I've seen repeatedly that it's the old BS, the old belief systems that no longer serve a person, and which they all too frequently learned very early on in childhood. And the belief system says something like this: I might as well take what I can get because there's nobody else better out there anyway, so let me make the best of it. And then they focus in only on the good qualities, which is where the rose-colored glasses come in. And they ignore, for as long as they can, the fact that the narcissist is not remembering key details that they've shared about their lives, about their families, because they don't really care. I know it's hard to hear that, but a narcissist is so busy trying to survive, trying to get their narcissistic supply because they need adulation from outside of themselves. Because even though they often come off as terribly self-confident, perhaps even haughty and arrogant, flippant in their behavior, inside there is almost like a void, a dark hole, which can never be filled by anyone outside of them. And so they're always on the lookout for new avenues of battery supply, battery charger supply, I call it. I don't want you or anyone connected with you to be vulnerable to this anymore. There is absolutely, I believe, an epidemic of this sort of thing going on. And unless or until you know that you can be happy as a single person, that you can have a life of thriving with or without a mate, this may be the kind of person you're going to keep attracting. You've got to go for taking the rose-colored glasses off and see who's really there. Golden nuggets, a couple of them, that I'd like to share with you today. Golden nugget number 1, from my heart to your heart. Please make a list of all of the beautiful things that might still be in the relationship. And notice, are they as good? Are they as strong? Are they as fervently offered as they were in the beginning of your relationship with this individual? Golden nugget number 2. After being relentlessly honest with yourself about this, take a look at the negative qualities. Some of the unpredictability, the Jekyll-Hyde stuff, the indicators that he's not really all that interested in you or your family or your friends or your real interests and passions, because he's totally self-absorbed in his own little world. How okay are you with that? How much are you twisting yourself in the proverbial pretzel to try and be acceptable to him? Golden nugget number 3. When you put the list of the positives up next to the negatives, being honest, no rose-colored glasses allowed, how do the negatives and the positives really match up? Now, if the good truly outweighs the bad, and if your concerns, and if you're watching this video and you've stayed with me up to this point, I know you have concerns. Take a look at what can be done about it. If you truly believe that this is someone who you could love and do care deeply about, and if you truly believe that this person is really someone who you want to put that much more love and nurturing and attention and energy into, then consider the possibility that this is someone with whom you could get some counseling, some coaching. And if that is the case, and there is a mutual willingness to do so, you might just have someone you can work with and cooperate with and co-create a wonderful relationship. If, however, the person is either an overt or covert narcissist, the likelihood is they are not going to want to go anywhere near a life coach or any other kind of counseling with you. Why? Because they would have to look at their stuff. They would have to take off their rose-colored glasses and actually perhaps take some responsibility in whatever your difficulties together might have been or are. And that is, I can assure you, if they really are full-blown narcissists, the last thing they want anything to do with. Because on some profoundly deep level, and I say this with understanding and compassion for them, they do not want to see their stuff. They do not want to have to look too deeply inside because they are so afraid of who and what they'll find. The truth, of course, is that whatever it is they had to live through that made them this way, they've already experienced it. They've already been there, and the worst is over. People have, however, to be ready. They have to be where they are. And we cannot push them or rush them or force them to get there just because it would be convenient for us. So, you may be involved with somebody who, for all the wonderful attributes and all the ability to act like they really care, when they don't, on any really deep level, they just are doing the best they know how to do. The point is, you've got to do better because you've got a heart to protect. You can't fix anything except your own attitude, your own belief, and your own knowing of your value. Please trust me on this. There are great people out there for you to have a relationship with. It may be that you haven't met them yet. It may be that you will meet them in the future, perhaps even the near future. But it'll only really happen most likely when you are willing to take off the rose-colored glasses and see yourself in your own beauty and your own value and your own inherent goodness. I'm Beverly Banov Brown. I know I've left you a lot to think about. Some of it might be stuff you don't want to hear. But if you've listened up to now, I congratulate you for that. And I hope that you'll, in the privacy of your own life, make that list and really look at it honestly. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to be disappointed. And like so many of the clients I've worked with in the past and do presently, have to spend inordinate amounts of time and energy forgiving themselves for having been fooled once again by someone who truly cannot receive the love and nurturing that they so richly lavish upon them. Many, many blessings. Until next time. Bye for now.